Hello, hello, good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome to everybody that's showing up. Hello, good morning, good morning. My name is Allan. I am from Vancouver, and I'm the fortunate individual who's had a chance to train and teach and help transform this wonderful lady that you see here on the screen. Her name is Helen Fong, toned at 50, creating the image that 50 really is the new 30. If this is your first time here joining us, again, we want to welcome you. We're happy to have you here. And the purpose of these calls is to help give you a little piece of information, some advice, that this young-looking lady over here, who at age 49, when she started her transformation, she came in with what we all have at some point, which is a sense of uncertainty. It's an uncertainty of, well, can I do it? Can I make this happen? But by using the techniques and the training that you're getting here for free over 7 days, she's become a living example of someone who started her fitness journey at 49, at age 49. And within a year, managed to transform her body to a point that a lot of people just either feel envious about or they feel amazed about, because now they want to have that. And we want to give you the advantage that if you're that person, if you're that female who looks at yourself, looks at your life and says, hey, you know what, I'm doing pretty good, but I could always have better. The moment we want better, it always boils down to how. How do we do it, right? Once we've made that decision of, I've got to make this work for me. The next stage is, well, best to model somebody. We call it modeling, where instead of going on the internet and researching ourselves and trying YouTube videos and trying to figure out, okay, this works, but that doesn't, this works, that doesn't, which I'm sure if you've ever done that before, it's good, but it can be tedious. Let's face it. Sometimes when you have to do your own training and your own research, there's so many wrongs that happen before we start to get the right. In other words, the results. Well, this lady right here is so kind, in my opinion, and generous that she's sharing with you all the steps that she took, as much as she can in 7 days. So that way, when you leave these 7 days, you're not only more knowledgeable on how you can transform your own body, but anytime you want to make a physical change, whether it's the way that you look or the way that you feel, if there's something about your body that you're not happy with, you can always revert back to these 7 days, dig up that piece of information, go and use it, and literally start to watch your body transform. And that's why we're digging into today's subject to build on yesterday. So really quick, for those of you that don't remember yesterday, or maybe you didn't have a chance to be here, and that's totally cool. Yesterday's call was simply about using what we call the RAS. It's the reticular activating system that we all have. It's built into our minds. And it's the thing in our head that makes us focus on what's important to us. The challenge is sometimes when we don't put things in front of us daily that are important to us, like making a transformation. Our brains go back to what we know. And what we know is usually what's right in front of us. So growth never really happens. It kind of goes like a yo-yo. We don't want yo-yo results. We want progression, right? This time next year, we believe you got to be able to look at your body and be like, oh my God, is this really me? That is one of the best gifts I've ever seen every woman I've ever had a chance to work with give herself. And now you're getting that opportunity to do the same for you. So in today's topic, I'm going to keep quiet now because Helen's going to take over. But Helen's going to talk about the next thing that we all have to do, whether you're brand new to doing a physical transformation for yourself, or you've been at this for a while and you're starting to get results, but you're starting to plateau. Helen's going to talk about what to watch out for so you don't end up plateauing or you don't end up cutting yourself short during your transformation process. So without further ado, Ms. Helen, come on out and share a little bit about you.
Good morning. This is in Vancouver. So wherever you are, maybe good afternoon, good evening. Florida, I know there's some ladies are from Florida. I have to apologize yesterday. My hands I watched my video, were moving side to side.
That's cool. You're excited.
I was so excited. So many of you ladies joined me. Yes, I am very excited and flattered that you're here with me and taking time out of your busy days. I'm sure so many of you are moms, so much to do, but yet you're here. So we will share our best tips with you. Yesterday, I shared about my purpose, my drive, what helped me completed my journey. And I'm sure so many of you have your own story. The reason we share that because it will help you overcome some of your obstacles along your journey. So today I'm going to share one tip, one step that that I noticed the fitness industry, the bodybuilders, that they do that we normally don't do. Because I noticed when I started in the gym, I'm sure some of you, have you guys ever, ladies, experienced when you started going to the gym, the first 15 minutes, you might feel tired. Some of you might experience cramps or muscle spasm in your legs, right? And then perhaps feel dizzy when you move from station to next. Well, I experienced that when I first started my my gym, my workout, and I thought maybe I'm getting old, maybe maybe because when I look at the younger ladies, they were doing so much workout and they don't get tired, and they would be there for 2 hours, 3 hours. But when I started 15 minutes, I had this cramps and I feel tired, lack of energy, and and then I discover that's one thing I didn't do. I didn't prepare myself well, was drinking enough water. And then when I started drinking 2 to 4 liters, my body feel totally different. I was able to work out an hour and a half or more, and I didn't feel tired. Some of you probably might not experience that, but I have. And ever since I started putting more liquid in my body, my endurance was totally different from before. And so, and then Allan, my coach, will have to remind me every time when I lack energy, when I lack performance, when I don't have any results, he would always remind me how much water I drank, and whether I mean, not just the day, but the day before as well. So, and I noticed during my competitions as well, and water is the thing. And I also, not just for the competition, as an experience as a mom, a 50 years old mom, I noticed so many ladies, even women who don't work out, and I get complaints that they feel dizzy, they feel tired all the time. And then when I ask them how much water they drink, I discover that they hardly drink any water throughout the day. And so that's why I wanted to bring this topic here today, to share. Some of you might not be aware how important our liquid in our body, especially if you work out. So I wanted Allan to go into deeper how much you need to drink, because everybody's requirement is very different.
Right. No, I totally agree. And it's such a, what's really remarkable is when we look at results, when we look at someone like Helen, if we look at somebody like any person you've ever looked at and thought, wow, how did that woman or that man, how did that person accomplish that despite their age or despite their physical limitation? And I'm referring more to some form of athleticism, right? In this case, being a transformation in your body. That is a form of athletics in order to do that, to create that result. And what we find, and why this is so important, is that as simple as that is, just talking about water, the lack of having enough hydration in our body, which is really what we're here to discuss, is usually 9 times out of 10, the first thing that kills a person's drive to make change. Now, have you ever had that before, where And you would know best, right? How many times have you been in a situation where you thought, okay, you know what, I'm going to make a change for myself of whatever that is. And it might have been, okay, I'm going to go for a walk, or I'm going to do some push-ups, or I'll do some squats, or I'll try a fitness class or an online class, only to discover that after a couple of sessions, or maybe even in the middle of the first session, your body starts to feel like it's shutting down, or there's a lot of pain, or you get dizzy, or the muscles start to cramp and it just doesn't feel right. Like, have you ever had that feeling before where you're trying to make change? You know it's good for you, but your body is in so much pain or exhaustion that it just feels like, oh my God, this is way too hard. And I know this is good for me, but maybe I'm not going to do it, or maybe not right now. Which, of course, not right now, for most people, leads to a place called nowhere. And then a year later, we're looking at our bodies and it's generally the same. Well, if that's ever happened to you, we're here to tell you that it's not your fault. It's not that there's anything wrong with your body. It really just boils down, in most cases, what we've discovered is that most people need a pre-preparation to another level of their training or their physical exercise that their bodies need time to prepare for. Now, if this is your first time to consider training or taking care of yourself at a different level to make that transformation, this will actually be simpler for you. Because if you're just going from a sedentary lifestyle to an active lifestyle, active could be like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. We're not talking hours here, okay? We're just talking about subtle changes that stack on top of each other, something that you can start incorporating into your life. So there's simplicity. That's much easier for you. For those of you that are on this call that are already spending an hour, 45 minutes, 5-6 days a week, this still applies to you because it helps you break through that next level of training. Now, what we're talking about in regards to hydration is, what is the proper amount of hydration to get your body to move, to get your body to go through the initial, this is a little discomfort, it's a little uncomfortable because training is at sometimes, but eventually get it to the point where it's a discomfort that you love, because that discomfort creates a tighter body. That discomfort creates leaner arms. That discomfort starts to reverse the aging process 5, 10, 15, 20 years. That kind of discomfort makes you wake up in the morning one day and go, holy crap, this is my body? And I'm not saying like me as in I'm a female or something. It's just, Helen has said it on so many occasions. There's several ladies who we have here that have said it on several occasions, because the mind sometimes can't fathom. It's hard to see yourself looking 5, 10, 15, 20 years younger until you've gotten to that stage where you're physically seeing it with your own eyes. Now imagine that for yourself. For some of you, you've already had that experience and you know how wonderful that feels. For some of you that are on this call, maybe you haven't had a chance yet. And ask yourself, if you woke up tomorrow and you look 10 years younger than you already do, I'm sure, how would that make you feel? What would that do to your own belief about what you're capable of accomplishing? Now, I'm not talking about career or family or everybody here is accomplished at something, I'm sure. Because if you weren't, then you probably wouldn't be on this call, because this is all about accomplishing another level. But what we're talking about specifically is physical change. The ability to literally look and feel younger, which is what Helen represents, because she was the model person who said, no way that could happen to me. No way. Like, we used to have long talks during her cardio warm-ups where she kept saying to me, Allan, is this going to work? Is this really going to work? Am I really going to get this? And it was almost like a broken record. Because, and I say it facetiously, of course, I am exaggerating a little bit, but there was a block period of time where I almost could walk into the gym, and before I'd see her, I'd think, okay, she can ask me that question again. Lo and behold, 10 minutes in, Allan, is this really going to work? So to have her come out and present to you what's really possible from someone who started with disbelief not only demonstrates how important this discussion is for all of us, but also what kind of massive benefits that this can generate for you once you start to incorporate this simplistic approach to your life. Now, we are talking about hydration and we are talking about water right now. Let me give you the breakdown on pre-preparation so that way you can start to use it. I would strongly recommend that you have this somewhere so it's not something you have to remember. Type it in your phone, write it down somewhere. And that's if you really want to make the change for yourself the way that Helen's made the change for her. The simplest way to look at this is reminding ourselves that our bodies are made up of anywhere from 70 to 80% water, depending who you're talking to. Now, if we know that we're mostly made of water, we also need water to keep replenishing ourselves, because the lack of it is usually what results in major headaches, in muscles cramping, in weird feelings in our bodies that we feel like, when you get that feeling like there's something wrong here, I shouldn't feel like this, but I do. Now, I'm not a doctor, okay, and I'm not a sports medicine doctor of any type, but I've had a chance to work with over 410 people since 2010, personally, one-to-one, and I would have to be a fool to not recognize the commonalities of what makes people perform at their best or what makes them perform in a place where they wish it was their best. And one of the most common things is when they don't have one-for-one water to body weight content. One-to-one water to body weight content. Water as in ounces, body weight as in pounds. So the first thing I want to ask you to do is make a note that whatever you weigh, whatever your weight is, let's say you're a 110-pound lady. That means every day you've got to break up 110 ounces and sip on 110 ounces throughout the day. Don't take big gulps unless you have to, of course. The goal is to take small enough sips that it stays in your body, that your tongue never gets dry, and that it keeps you replenished throughout the day. Now, as simple as that sounds, some of the major benefits that my clients and my friends and people like Helen has reported is, number one, after a few days, they start to notice a steady level of energy throughout the day versus what most people usually will report, which is, I'm great in the morning, I'm good till about 12, and then after lunch, I need the power nap, right? That seems to go away for a lot of people. Number two, headaches. How many times do you find yourself in a week experiencing some form of headache? 8, 9 times out of 10, it's usually just because of dehydration. So the headaches we've noticed, at least for our group of people that we keep working with, we notice that the headaches minimize or they completely go away. Now, this becomes extremely important because when you do decide to start some sort of 10, 15, 20-minute training regimen, or if you're already working out and you want to add that extra last 10 to 15-minute blast to your current workout to get to that next level, you'll notice that things like fatigue, headache, muscle cramps, they minimize or they disappear completely. And again, it's not because of just some fad or just because we're talking about it. It's because the body has a certain requirement of hydration, especially during the times where we're actually getting rid of body fat and we're raising the amount of lean muscle that's in our overall frame. Okay? Dehydrated bodies, please make a note of this. If your body's dehydrated, it cannot lose body fat, not much. If your body is dehydrated, and when I say dehydrated, I'm not talking about, where you go the whole day and you don't have water. I mean, that's a little extreme. I'm talking about if you're short a glass, your body, my body, our body, they're picky as hell. They're picky. That's just the way it is. I don't argue with it. Neither does Helen. We've realized that's just the way it is. And if we can
Yes.
learn to utilize what our bodies do and how it best benefits us, it gives us the best benefit back, which is why you're now looking at a lady who's 52, made her transformation in 1 year, and has still been able to sustain this on a regular lifestyle. Like regular as in she's not in the gym 6 hours a day. She works out like an hour. Right now, she's not even working out every day because it's off season, but she's sustaining her body weight and her body fat on 2 days a week, maybe at the gym, plus 10 minutes to 20 minutes at home on the bike and some push-ups. Like,
Surviving water.
Right. Like it's not an extreme thing. Like, you know, and we're joking in a way because it's just so common that people go, man, you must have worked out like you were in the army and you must have like done all this strict, crazy things and like just this next level stuff, which some people have to do, but that's because of their goal. It's a different goal. When you're in a place where all you want to do is lean the current muscle tone that's in your body. So you've got muscle right now, you have to, or else you can't move, right? If all you're looking to do is lean it and then shed the body fat, one of the easiest things that we can start incorporating is just simple water loading. Here's the other reason why 1-to-1, the ratio, is so important. Earlier we discussed, or I'd mentioned that body fat doesn't leave. So if let's say you work out, you might lose your 5, 10, 15, 20 pounds, 30 pounds, 100 pounds, maybe, depending on how much excess you have. There will come a point, though, and this is important to know, that as you're making progress and you're starting to lean out and the body fat is starting to lower and then the muscle tone, not the size, but the tone is starting to increase, you're going to notice that at some point, if the water isn't sustained, you're going to plateau. And plateau simply means that you could be working out, you could be eating right, you could be getting enough sleep, but you're still going to notice that there's that layer in certain parts of your body where it seems almost impossible to get rid of. I mean, have you ever had that before? Some of the ladies that we've had a chance to work with, some of them complain about their stomach. They're like, oh my God, it doesn't matter how many sit-ups or crunches I do. It's like, I can't get rid of that last layer. Or some other ladies have been complaining about how the bottom, the tricep, just stays loose. It's almost like loose, jello-y skin. Not my words. Okay, this is a reiteration of what I've heard from other ladies. Or me and Helen's favorite one that we hear, we call it a favorite because we can transform it, and she's gone through the experience herself, where no matter how much she worked out, her butt, the glute muscles, did not transform to a younger appearance. She used to define her glutes or her butt as flat. It's flat. It doesn't matter what I do. It's flat, right? She can laugh about it now because that's old news. It's not the case anymore. That usually happens when not only there's enough water, despite enough working out, despite the good healthy eating, but the lack of water is what raises the acid levels in our body. And if the body is highly acidic, what happens is the body hangs on to everything. It hangs on to the carbs, tries to hang on to some protein, definitely hangs on to the fat. Hangs on to the fat especially because fat is used as a fuel source. So if you become hungry, if there's some sort of starvation happening in the world, you can't get food, your body is pre-programmed to use the fat as an energy store. So it'll use its fat. But that's the problem, is that it's hanging on to fat almost like a necessity. We're in a modern time world with a prehistoric subconscious brain. And the subconscious brain we can't control because that's the thing that runs our bodies on autopilot. It's conscious is where we get to think. We make decisions here. Our automatic reactions come from here. And that's part of the brain that controls how much fat gets released from the body. So to sum it up, if your body is highly acidic, the last 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 pounds, you're stuck with. Now, how good does that feel, right? You work out really hard, you try to get lots of sleep, you're trying to do all these things right, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I can't get rid of that, whatever that is. Have you had that before? Well, we're here to let you know that you can get rid of that. Plus, you can minimize or completely eradicate the headaches or the dizziness that starts to happen sometimes when you first start making the transformation, or the frustration of not seeing the pounds come off, or the frustration of always being sore. I mean, Helen's got tons of stories. Helen, you know what? Just so that way we don't have to do it on this call, I want you, if you have time sometime today, go in the group and then share with them some of your painstaking stories of how it began for you. But in the beginning, it wasn't like, now she's on point. She does her water, she does her food, make sure her protein's on check. It's not that something she thinks of anymore. It's a daily part of her life. And that's what we want for you, right? But in the beginning, it wasn't.
No. It was difficult at the beginning. And besides, sorry to interrupt, Allan, because I hated water. In the past, I only drink when I'm very thirsty. And I realized, oh my goodness, when I began to have cramps and muscle pain in the gym, that just imagine, lady, imagine a tree when it's dry, right? And how brittle it is. This is how your body is if you don't drink a lot of water to hydrate it. So I used to have headaches. I used to have just feel tired a lot in the gym. And then I realized one thing, besides the water helped dehydrate my body, it helped me prevent hunger. Have you ever, ladies, after you eat not too long ago and you wanted to eat again, but it wasn't that you're hungry? I believe it's just because you are thirsty. So try next time when you feel like you want to eat something, even though you have so much already, try just drink water. I noticed that. And ever since I sort of force myself, but then it become a habit. When I have my daily water enough, I feel good about myself. I feel like very smooth. I don't get a lot of headaches, and it just feel lively. I share a story with you. I go to Toastmaster and I share this story about my water intake when I started my my fitness journey. And this 90 years old man who was part of my Toastmaster class. And then I share with him how important water is. And then a week later, he came to me. Oh, Helen, I listened to what you told me. I started drinking water. I feel so good. A 90 years old, come and listen to me. I said, how much you drank? Or just a few extra glass more than I used to. And I just feel so good. I'm able to walk. I'm able to do so much now. It made me feel so good, just 90 years old. And I didn't think it was important. And when he told me that, and I said, wow. So that's what I noticed. And so many women also, when they experience headache, perhaps some of, women too have other medical issue. Perhaps, I'm not a doctor myself, perhaps check your water intake, because it also happened to me during the COVID. And of course, like Allan said, because we couldn't go to the gym. So I feel guilty not doing my normal routine.
Human.
And I noticed my urine was so dark. Wait. I thought, Helen, you're 50. Maybe you're experiencing some kind of medical illness. And then I remember, okay, maybe it's lack of water. Or else I would have go straight to the doctor and have myself checked. But I didn't. And then I drank extra water. And then next thing, I noticed my urine was very clear. So
right, which is how it should be, right?
Yeah. So I'm like, again, I'm not a doctor. That was just my experience, and just want to share with you, ladies.
Right. No, that's a really good point. One thing I appreciate about Helen, that I'm sure all of you ladies can too, is that she's just here to be real. We always tell people all the time, we're regular people. We're nothing over the top special. We're not trying to be Hollywood superstars. We're individuals that came from a background, from a place where at some stage in our lives, we didn't think we could do it. We didn't think we could make the change. And it wasn't until somebody came into our life and said, no, this is what's really possible for you. And just through the pure sheer of willing to take a chance on ourselves, of breaking an old disbelief that used to say, no, I can't do this, to just saying, okay, you know what do I got to lose? And taking that step forward and making the transformation, this is the result that we've gotten, right? Like I showed off yesterday my results in the first call yesterday. Helen's is all over that page, the private group. So if you want to see what her transformations look like, just look at the photos inside the group. It's all in there. But that's what's really possible for all of us. And Helen's so awesome in the sense that even when it comes to talking about her urine color change, she's willing to share that with you, because that is important. That is such a real indicator. As simple as that sounds, if it's clear, you know you're drinking enough. And that's exactly what we need to know. Well, we don't need to know it, but it's exactly what you need to know when monitoring your own change. So to wrap up that section real quick, today's talk is avoid the headaches, avoid muscle cramping, avoid the fatigue, avoid the energy drain. In total, first thing to do in order to create that result is make sure you're getting ample water at 1:1, 1 ounce for 1 pound of body weight. So whatever your body weight is, drink that in ounces, but sip it throughout the day so you're not feeling overwhelmed with the amount of water to take in. Number 2, the last thing that we want to share for today to add on, and remember, this is about preparation so you can do the necessary exercises at home or at a gym or wherever you like in order to make the transformations that you want to see in your body, and make it in a way where it's a very simple but constant progression, where you're not going up and then it's horrible results and then great results then horrible. Like, we're trying to help you in a way where it's not a yo-yo effect, which, by the way, is super common when there's no guidance. But we want to be your guide. If you'll allow us, if you'll give us that opportunity, we'll pour into you all the best of what we got. But the best, to make the best results, the cool part is that it's just through simplistic change. It's never sexy. It's never gorgeous to listen to. It's not, it's not Hollywood, but that's what I love about it. That's what we love about it. It's so simple, yet so effective. And the second thing that we're going to do is we're going to share with you real quick that in order to make your change, we're going to ask that you go and check out on your own time the addition of adding electrolytes into your daily consumption. So what is electrolytes? Well, I took a second. Nobody says it better than Google sometimes. So I pulled it up from Google, and all it says is electrolytes are minerals that are in your body that have an electric charge. They're there for your blood, your urine, your tissues, and other bodily fluids. They're important because they help balance out the water in your body. And it balances out your acid to your alkaline, your pH level. So earlier we were talking about too much acid, you can't burn the last few pounds. Right? But too much alkaline, that's almost impossible these days. I don't know anybody that has a lot of over alkaline. So in other words, electrolytes. Why is this important? It's because it acts as a conductor for the fluids that need to be used in your body as fuel, as recovery, as all the important factors that you need. So when we finally start getting to day 4, day 5, day 6, day 7, and we're doing the physicalities, you can feel good during and at the end of the workout sessions for yourself, instead of feeling what most people feel like, which is, oh God, this is too hard. I'm too tired. And I respect that. Allow us to be the first to say to you, we understand how you feel or how you felt. That's why we host these calls. We do it for free. And it's really to make sure that you're getting the best advice of what we can at least share with you, so you don't run into the problems that we ran into, right? I mean, Helen, for yourself, real quick, I just want you to share with them really quickly. How long did it take for you to make the decision? Oh, she's getting red. She knows. How long did it take for you to make the decision to start incorporating these simple things like the water? Like, later on we'll talk about some supplements or a food choice change.
It was gradual. I mean, like I told you, I never liked water, and I would drink coffee all day.
Beginning.
Yes. But then I realized it's a habit. Everything is an acquire, and like at beginning, you don't like something, and then you keep doing it and keep doing it, and you actually enjoy it. And what I do it, I sometimes I forget water, so I bought this huge bottle of water, so I know exactly how much I have. This is about a big bottle. I used to go to the gym, and about 3 liter. So because I know it's part of my journey, and if I don't, I would get headache. I would get cramps, and my results will not be there. So I have to incorporate, and then eventually I actually enjoy it. I like water now. I give up a lot of other drinks that I used to, and water is free. Water is so easy, accessible, and it just makes me feel good. So
Right, absolutely. And now if she makes her feel good, and that's why she can continue her training. Now, when we go back to Helen's beginning stages, we started training together pretty intensely beginning around November, December of 2017. Intensely as in each session was intense, but it wasn't daily. And it wasn't daily partially because her body, just like mine when I first started 10 years ago, it was tired. After one session, it was sore. She used to complain to me about how after a workout, she had to hang on to the rails just to walk down the stairs because her legs were so in pain, right? And that's sometimes part of the transformation, depending on how long you've been away from training. But today's talk is about how to minimize all of that. And what we learned is that in 2018, when she was consistently working out about 1, 2, sometimes 3 days a week, there was constant pain. There was constant over discomfort. And then when we looked at what was happening, it really just boiled down to she just needed more water, needed more rest, more electrolytes. Then in 2019, when she started making that consistent, like just a part of her daily life, especially the water and the electrolytes, her ability to recover was so fast. It was so fast that sometimes we were able to work on the same body part for 2 to 3 days straight before she actually felt fatigue in that area. Now, for those of you that are familiar with training, and for those of you that are not, that is highly not recommended. Usually you want to work out one muscle group, leave it for a few days, couple of days, and come back. But she would recover so fast that we had to go to that and work on the same part the next day because she was already rejuvenated. So ask yourself that question. If you could recover that fast, how often would you find yourself making your transformation? How fast would your transformation come to you if you knew that you could do some form of exercise 10, 15, 20 minutes or 20 minutes on top of your regular regimen and then come back the next day and feel like, why do I feel like I didn't even work out yesterday? I'm not even sore. And that's a major contribution to what Helen feels now. And that's not only what she feels, but that's what we want you to experience for yourself as well.
Yeah, I forgot to add that. Yes, when I first started, it took me a week to recover. That's right. It was a long time. I thought, oh my goodness, it's going to take me a week before I go to the gym again. I remember coming down the stairs. I couldn't come down. I thought
tough. It was kind of tough. It was kind of tough. And she's telling you that because she does not want you. We do not want you to go through those types of challenges. Like it's a challenge already to make a transformation for ourselves. It's more of a challenge if we just stay where we are. I mean, that's why we're on this call because we all want to change for ourselves, right? Wouldn't you agree? But if you know that you can make your change using a level 3 in terms of, transitional discomfort versus like a level 10, we would much rather you pick the level 3 because then it's more enjoyable for you to make the transition in the process, right?
Yes. Besides that, I would have one drink and then I did not have enough water to balance it. So it was actually worse than, not just water, but on top of other drinks.
Right. Absolutely. So folks, to close off this section of the call, before we get into who won yesterday's prize,
it was hard. It was a hard choice. Everybody, the ladies, they all did such a fabulous job.
It was. Yeah, they all did. And we want to announce that person real quick. But before we do, please make a note of today's overview and today's assignment if what you'd like to do is make the transformation for yourself And if you want a chance to win that $50 Amazon card or trade that in for a 30-minute private coaching call with me and Helen, where you can pick our brains and dig up whatever you want to make the transformation more selective just for yourself. So here's the homework for today. Number one, we're going to ask you to take down your body weight, make a note that that's the equivalent in ounces of water. And we'd like to ask that you make a note of how you plan to drink your water throughout the day. Simple, right? Now, it could sound as simple as, well, I'm just going to fill up a jug and I'm just going to walk around with it. That could be true, and you might be that kind of person that's happy to do that. I, for one, for some reason, hate carrying my water jugs. I just don't do it. So what I do is I keep one in my fridge, and I keep one in one of my spare rooms, and I keep one in my car. So when I go to another place and I just got to refill, then I don't need to grab their containers. I just, especially nowadays with COVID, I just have my own clean container. So I've always got a water container somewhere, and that's to make sure I'm always hydrated. We're going to ask that you make a note of where you're going to place or how you're going to keep yourself hydrated. And then we're going to ask you just to turn on your video cam, jump into our private group here, click the live button, and just introduce yourself. You know, as funny as that sounds, number one, we're all becoming comfortable with each other. We're getting to know each other. You're getting to know us, and you're getting to know what we're here to do, to help you, to serve you, to make a difference for you, really. As said yesterday, nobody's paying to be here. We're all here on our own free time, but we're also here to pay something. And that payment is your own daily action towards the improvement of your own physical results. And what better way, what better thing to share than to come into the group and to share what you're doing to make a benefit for you. So we know it's working for you, but hopefully your video might inspire somebody else to take action for themselves. And that's the real beauty of what we're putting together here. It's that ripple effect. So again, live video, just saying who you are, just say hi, and just tell us, like, this is my water, and this is how I plan to drink it throughout the day to make sure I stay hydrated. Simple. Once you've done that, we're going to ask you to hashtag it. So hashtag or the number sign, and you're just going to go TA50 day 2. TA stands for toned at 50, TA50 day 2. And that's so at the end of the night, Helen and I, we can find those videos or those posts. Okay. What we'll do is we'll gather up all those posts from today. We'll select a winner, and then we'll announce the winner on tomorrow's call. So for you to know if you won, you're going to have to come and hang out with us for tomorrow to find out if you won. And it's really that simple. Again, all of these are designed to help you perform, to help you improve, to go to bed at night and know that you've done something better for yourself today than you did yesterday. You do that, and we feel like we've done our job. And we go to bed at night knowing that we contributed some way, somehow, just a little bit better, a little bit more. So that is today's live event. But we still got to announce the winner. And folks, I got to tell you real quick, it was tough. It was tough to choose. We were going through the handful of amazing comments and messages from yesterday. And ladies, I got to tell you, when you ladies say, hey, look, I want a body like this, it's very detailed. Like, okay, obviously I'm a guy. So if there's guys that come together and like, hey, you know, we want to look whatever, we want to look better, we want to look stronger, we'll just be like, yeah, I just want to look big. Or yeah, I just want to be more rich. It's so general. When Helen and I were looking at the comments yesterday with the videos, with the photos, with the posts, we're like, oh my goodness, like this is so much, like I could almost close my eyes and see like this is them in the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, 12 months. It was so unbelievably detailed. And I love that, because the better the detail, the faster the result. The better the detail, the more clarity in detail, the faster the results. And that's why Helen's now going to come out, and she's going to share with you who won yesterday's faster detailed results Exercise. Helen, who did you say that was?
It was difficult for me to choose among all those beautiful videos and beautiful
Yeah.
posters, but then we have to only choose one. But the rest can keep trying every day, and we have a prize for the next 6 days. So today's winner is Penny.
Penny.
Yes.
Hey, Penny, congratulations. Congratulations. That is awesome. Helen will get in touch with you later on today so you can choose which one you want to pick for yourself. And folks, we just want to say real quick that no matter whether you're doing the challenge or you're just here on the call, you're still winning. Well, you're getting the Amazon card or not. Like, those are nice, but we're not here for the Amazon card. We're here because a year from now, 6 months from now, we all want to look younger. We all want to feel more vibrant. We all want that energy back in our lives. We all want to look at ourselves in the mirror and be like, how the heck did I look? How do I look so much younger today than I did just a few months ago? All of us have that ability. And for the fact that you're here and you're learning already makes you a champion. Because while you're doing this, you know that there's so many other people out there that wish or thought they might do this, but they don't for whatever reason. And I respect that. But I also very much respect that you're here. We both do. And we're so thankful that you are here, because that is that's what we live for at this point. I don't even know how else to describe it. That's what lights us up at this time. So thank you for all of your contribution.
Yes. You are all winners by being here. Just like me, the moment I step on stage, it among the other ladies, by just making on the stage, I was already a champion, I told myself, because I worked so hard to get there.
Right.
Yes.
That feeling that you had is now what we get to pass on to all of you. So folks, go ahead and get that assignment done if you'd like to take part. Hopefully all of you do. We're excited to see all of your posts for the evening, and we're excited to see you all on tomorrow's call for day number 3, when we talk more about transitioning our bodies from where we are to where we want to be, modeling the Miss Young Toned at 50 Helen Fong. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
everyone.
Allan. Thank you, ladies. I will see you tomorrow.
We'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks again for coming to hang out with us. Enjoy your homework assignment. We'll talk to you soon, okay? Take care. Bye-bye.